Hey guys, today we are once again crafting on a budget. This time we're doing some home decor for spring. Let's get started. First up, I have these wooden bunnies. These came from Hobby Lobby. They were originally $1.99 and they were 40% off. I did recently share a clearance haul from Hobby Lobby to give you guys some ideas for some crafting supplies. I did it in one of the YouTube shorts, but it was like a 3-minute long video. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out on my page. I just used my heat gun to pull the sticker off, and then the edges is a little rough. I didn't sand it smooth, but I did want to sand it down a little bit to just smooth it out a touch. And then I am going to be using Waverly's chalk paint in the color Celery, and it is getting down to the bottom. I have quite a few paints that are either almost gone or are just older, and I'm going to try to get the most out of them. So I just mixed in a little bit of water, and this was a thick paint still, which was a little bit troublesome on part of this, and I will share that with you in a moment. But for the most part, it was fine. It wasn't clumpy. It was just thick, and it did still give me really good coverage. So I'm not about to waste my paint, and I love this color Celery by Waverly, and I'm going to give the side and then I think I did the front and back with that paint. Once that's dry, I have this glass sticker is what it's for like, I guess, to put on a glass from Dollar Tree. Now, I wanted this to purposely be kind of like off kilter here, and I'm just going to place a sticker and then trim it. I have these little, and then I'm going to put this other piece down at the bottom. I thought it was kind of like cute in the spot where like the tail would be. I don't know. But I'm just going to place this sticker on there. These are from the Dollar Tree. My mom gave them to me. I'm inheriting her stash. She's getting rid of it. And I'm trimming it off with these precision scissors from the Dollar Tree. These little tiny scissors come in so handy. Now these stickers, like I said, they are a sticker, so I didn't use any adhesive. But if you have a hard time with it sticking to your surface, I would just put a little bit of Mod Podge. It didn't stick super great, but I don't know if it was just because the stickers were a little bit older or because of the surface I was putting them on is not what they're made for. But if you need to, just add a little Mod Podge. Now we're going to just do the other side of the bunny because why not? And I have this transfer that someone gave me. I don't know if this was an IOD transfer or not. And it's really big, and I don't do a lot of big projects. So I just cut out a portion of it and decided to put that on the back of the bunny. And I wanted to show you that there are a lot of ways to do a project. So regardless of the type of supplies that you have on hand, there's a lot of different things you can do. So I'm using a rub-on transfer, and I'm going to use one from the Dollar Tree later on in this video, but I'm just going to kind of smooth out any transfer that kind of went over the edge. You could leave it, but I just took my sander to gently take that off. And I really liked this floral pattern on here too, kind of abstract-like, but I really like how this one came out. And I'm going to show it to you in the end, but we're going to move on to do another one of those bunnies that I picked up from Hobby Lobby as well. And so all together, I'm going to give you 4 different ways that you can make over this sweet little bunny. And this isn't their Easter decor, but you know what? Bunnies come out at springtime. I don't need bunnies just for Easter, my personal opinion. So we're going to give this a coat of, I think this is like Ballet Slipper is what it's called, by Waverly. And then letting that dry fully. And then I'm going to go in with some of this, like, it's an off-brand. I think it might be Dollar Tree brand, but of the, like, Elmer's School Glue. But I am just going to brush this on. I'm not brushing it over the whole thing, although you can. And I'm just kind of putting it in places and leaving it thicker. We're going to go for the crackle method here. I'm not doing it perfectly, but even imperfectly, it will work. Now, while the glue is still wet, you want to do a single stroke with your paint across it. This is where the thicker paint came in to be a little bit tough because to really get it off the paintbrush, you got to have to press the paintbrush down. And if you do that too much, you just pull up the glue, the wet glue underneath. So it did not give a full crackle effect, but you know, it still came out good, and natural crackle isn't even. So I did that over the pink, and then I'm painting the sides and then other side of the bunny, all with that Celery color by Waverly. On the sides, because it is a rougher wood, it's a little bit, it's not going to be as smooth and perfect, but if you want it more smooth, go ahead and sand it down. So for the crackle, you don't have to heat it up, but heat does kind of speed up the process. And I'm using my heat gun, but you can certainly use a hair dryer. And I am just drying this, and you will see the crackle come through. You'll also be able to see it really good in the final shot that I'm going to show you. But I love this crackle chippy look, and I thought this was a really fun way to do this side of the bunny. And then we're going to flip over the other side, and I'm going to just take a stencil. This is from one of those circular stencils from the Dollar Tree, if you've seen those, and I've cut them up because it's easier for me that way, so that's why it looks this way. But I'm just using a simple flower stencil. I'm not taping it, I'm holding it. I do hold it down pretty good so my fingers get paint on them, but nothing a little baby wipe won't clean up. And I'm going to stencil this flower just kind of haphazardly. So I'm going to do several of them all over the bunny. I'm going to try not to put too much paint so that it doesn't leak out at all. I don't have, some of the flowers are half off the bunny. No particular rhyme or reason, kind of intentionally imperfect. And I love this color combination of the pink and the green, but of course, do whatever colors you like. If you're enjoying this video and you love budget-friendly DIYs, I would love it if you helped me out by giving this video a thumbs up. It's a very simple way to help out my channel. To finish off this bunny, I'm going to hot glue these little white cotton balls, and I'm going to do one on each side. Just don't do them too low, so that your bunny won't stand up on its own. But this is a fun addition, not necessary, but I liked it a lot for this one, and I thought it'd be fun to show you different ways using Dollar Tree, but also other items to make over this same bunny to get totally different looks. Here is how the crackle came out. I do enjoy that chippy crackle look. And of course, if you don't like the pink and green, do different colors. But here's again that pink and green with the flower stencil. And I do love the addition of the little tail on this particular piece. And then for the other one, I didn't do the tail. I feel like there was a lot of other details on it, and so I didn't need to. But this transfer, you can see that it's a flower, but it's still a little bit more abstract in how it's placed on there. And then we have these stickers from the Dollar Tree as well. So, just use your imagination. There's lots of different ways to make over a piece. This piece I picked up at Dollar General. I got it at one point for like 50 cents. They were $1 each. No, they were $1 each, yeah, and then they were 50% off. And I bought a bunch of them. So I took off the paper. I didn't share that in this video because I've done that many times for you. Peel off whatever you can, soak it with a wet paper towel, scrape it, repeat until it's done. And then I'm going to do one side with the pink color, the ballet slipper by Waverly, and then the other side with celery. And I wanted to keep the edges of this one plain, just that brown, like it's an MDF pressed board type of thing, but I liked it. So I just gently sanded that off for any bits that came, over the edge. Everything is dry, the paint's dry. We're going to Mod Podge this, the pink side here. And I did this before in another video with these paper doilies, and it wrinkled a lot. So I decided to do the iron-on method this time. I got these paper doilies from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 32, a variety of sizes, and they are in the party wear, plates, napkins, party stuff section of Dollar Tree. And I think they're great for crafting. So I just, after my Mod Podge was dry, we're laying that doily down, and then I'm just using a parchment paper and my mini heat press. You can use a household iron. Just make sure there's no steam. I know if you watch all my videos, some of that's repetitive, but there's always new people coming along, and I don't want to assume that everyone knows how the iron-on method works. Once I was done with that, I'm just using my sander to gently sand away and take off the excess doily, and I will save that scrap and probably use it in the future. Now I have this wooden bicycle, and I think this is from Hobby Lobby. It's been in my stash for a while, and I'm painting it with celery. For a piece like this, because of all of those little crevices, just make sure you don't use too much paint, otherwise it will get in there. We're going to come back to that because I decided I need to do this side first. So I have this rub-on transfer. This is from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them or not, but if you are like me and my mother, who I got this particular transfer from, you might have old stuff from the Dollar Tree in your stash. And so I want to work through it. I want to help you work through it. This is a really, really pretty one, just a portion of it. It says spring. I think there might be some other words on there and some pretty florals. I thought it went really pretty against the celery background. And then I'm just taking the top sheet and burnishing it in. And then for the top, I am going to hot glue this lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree across the top. And I'm just doing a little bit of hot glue on the top, just a tiny bit to get it on there. And then once I trim it down, I will go ahead and put some hot glue on the bottom to just hold it even better. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave, because why not? Help YouTube show you my videos. So subscribe if you have not done so already, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. All right, back to the pink side. I wanted to put this little bike, and I wanted to make it look like there were flowers coming out of the basket on the front of the bike. I thought this was cute. So I went into my stash and found anything that was small enough floral piece for this project. And I'm going to hot glue our bike down. I did, unfortunately, not place it on there super evenly, but I don't think it's super noticeable. Sorry, need to finish my words. I'm tired and I have a little bit of a hoarse voice. Spent time with family and lost my voice from talking. And then we're just going to hot glue these on top here of the little basket. And then after that, I realized that one of the wheels was hanging out the bottom, and I didn't want to risk ruining the whole thing by taking it off. So I'm just sanding it down so that it would lay flush. And it's a little crooked, but not super noticeable. I love this one. Let me know what you guys think of this one. I thought this was just a sweet one for spring. And once again, why not have a double-sided sign when you can? I think they're fun, great for tiered trays, or just great when you want to switch up your decor without much effort. So this is a potted succulent that I got at Dollar General at one point when they had a bunch of stuff marked down. And I thought it'd be fun to make over the pot and make it a little bit, more spring-like in colors. So my first thought was to paint over the, not grout, but what could be considered the grout. But there weren't really recessed in there. Like, obviously this isn't like a tile and grout situation, but at first I thought it would be a little bit more recessed, and it wasn't. But I went with it anyway, and I'm just going to take you on this quick, short little journey. I painted all of that on there, and I decided at some point it didn't need to be perfectly done. Once that was dry, I'm going over with the celery, and I'm not worried if I cover up some of the pink, but I'm also okay with covering it up. I'm really just trying to make sure. I had to do about 2 coats of the green and let that dry. I was going to try to paint it and then distress it back so that the pink lines came through. But with everything wasn't recessed in there, I just realized that wasn't going to work. So I just made a different plan, and I'm going for more of a hand-painted look, and I intentionally made things, not perfect. And I've even seen stuff like that in the stores, not just like at a farmer's market or like a boutique, like actual manufactured stuff, and it's like intentionally made to look hand painted. So I am just going to go with it. So we're going to paint this green on here, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to, what we're going to do there. But I did want to say, if you are here, thank you so much for being here. If you've made it to this point in the video, would you leave me a flower emoji down in the comments and let me know that you made it to the last DIY and almost to the end of the video. Once my green paint was dried, I decided to just take a small paintbrush and paint back in those lines. I didn't want to tape it off. I didn't want it to be crisp, perfect lines. I am just freehanding it loosely, relatively quickly. I mean, this footage is sped up, but I didn't really labor over it too much. I let it just kind of be what it was going to be. And I love the new colors on the pot. I think it came out very pretty, and I like that rougher look to it. But if you don't, by all means, use some painter's tape or some washi tape, make some lines. But if you find a discounted, inexpensive faux plant, or maybe you have one at your house and you're tired of it, just go ahead and paint your pot. Although I don't show it here, do seal in your pot when you're done. I like to use Mod Podge. I love how this one came out. I thought it was a very fun and nice addition. Let me know what you guys think about this. You can see that it is hand painted. It's not perfect, but I don't mind that look. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and make sure your notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out on my future videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.